What a treat it is on One Rental at a Time that we get the best and brightest from across the real estate landscape. On Thursdays, we get the joy of speaking with the CEO of Hemlane, Dana Dumford. How you doing, Dana?
I'm great. Thanks for having me back on, especially during a holiday week.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for being here. It's amazing. Well, it is the end of 2023. We're about 3 short days away. As the CEO of Hemlane, I'm curious, do you have like a year in review or things that you think about as you kind of put 2023 behind us and get ready for 2024?
Yeah, I think it's always a good thing for everyone to review their past year, in part because you forget how much you did in the
Yeah.
past year. And so we like to do that here at Hemlane to kind of look at, hey, what did 2022 look like? What did the landscape look like? And then what does it look like today? And so a couple of things, I think there were 4 big initiatives here at Hemlane that I think every real estate investor should kind of look into, think about their process with those. And so if it's okay, I'm gonna go through all 4 of those,
Please.
with you. Okay, so the first one was, leasing initiatives and
Mhm.
using self-guided tours, which
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
I
you and I
remember that.
spoke
Yeah.
about. I think it was back a year ago because I was very opposed to self-guided tours. Very opposed to them, and part of the reason was because there's not someone physically there. But we did the numbers, we looked at, hey, how much faster can we place a tenant?
Mm,
And still having in mind, hey, you need someone to go out there and check on the property. It's just to get tenants in faster to view it. Self-guided tours is a great way to do that. You still need an inspector out there and all of that stuff. So launching self-guided tours and optimizing that was a huge thing in 2024. And I think one of the bigger things, if there's anyone listening to this in hardware, or they're looking for a really, really good product idea, like if
mhm.
you're an entrepreneur, one thing that we have found is that Airbnb is a lot like if you do short-term rentals, it's a lot easier to do remote like entry for tenants or for cleaners or vendors.
Mhm.
And Michael, can you guess why it's easier for a short-term rental to do it than a long-term rental when a long-term rental is vacant?
I have no idea. Something about the hospitality business, maybe?
It's about Wi-Fi. So
Oh, of
every
course.
yes,
Of
every
course.
short-term rental property will have Wi-Fi.
Ah,
And if it doesn't, it's in the middle of nowhere, so you kind of have a key hidden
it
under a
doesn't
rock.
matter anyway. Yeah.
Doesn't matter, you probably don't even lock the property. But with long-term rentals, what ends up happening is you don't have
Yeah.
Wi-Fi when the property is vacant. You will have
Right.
your utilities on, but you won't have Wi-Fi. And so one of the really interesting, and I think the trends when you look at hardware is how can you get remote access where that is Bluetooth enabled. Right now, there's a lot of cellular plans where you like lock in a cellular plan to be able to open and close.
Mhm.
Um, we use little pin codes for the lock boxes that change every second or like every hour, so
Mhm.
we know what the code would be at that time. But
Got
it's
it.
still a bit clunky. And so if anyone's looking for an idea out there, it's like, how do you get remote access without having tenants download an app and
Right.
provide a not so great experience? So that is the first one is leasing. I think it's huge. The
Yeah.
self-guided tours and more to come there.
Okay. All right. I like
Cool.
that. Mhm.
The second is AI. So we have put AI into the product. We continue to do so. And I think that was a huge one from that creativity block. AI does not replace humans for all of this. You still want a human to review it, confirm, like, hey, this is, for example, for your listing description, this is exactly how I want my property portrayed. But it
Mhm.
does help with that writer's block. It helps you get through your administrative tasks faster, and it thinks about things that you didn't think about, like what are some of the local attractions nearby, like parks and certain downtown areas. And so I think AI has helped you just quickly and efficiently write that out.
I like it.
The third one is Eviction Guard. So
Ooh,
this
that's
is
right.
where one of our huge points is that you don't want to go to court with a tenant. No one wants to go to court, and no one wants to. If there's any lawyers listening to this, I love lawyers. My twin sister is a litigation attorney, but really don't want to, like, my goal is to say, how do I make sure that I'm working with the fewest number of lawyers, if any, at any time?
Well said. Well said. Yes.
And so with that comes Eviction Guard of how do you prevent evictions? How do you use mediation as an opportunity to make the experience better for you? And then still having the tenant follow the lease and let them know that there is a third party there to help. And then figuring out how to make sure the rent is collected and what are the options before just going directly to a lawyer, directly to court. So I think that was a huge one. And I'll ask you some numbers about that in a second.
Okay. I
Um,
like it.
and then the final one is our most recent one, which is tenant communications. So with the exception of repair coordination, we've always been known for repair coordination here at Hem Lane. That repair coordination is one of those things where we spend more time than anyone can imagine on trying to make sure the tenant has a great experience with repairs. They put something in, we're helping them troubleshoot, we're trying to get it fixed without sending a vendor on site. Of course, if there's any liability, we would be sending out the electrician, the plumber, et cetera. But really making sure that we can help with the repair coordination and make it much more hands-off. Where we're now going into is saying, how can we help with all the other questions? HOA violations. How can we help with questions about, can they have a pet? And with that comes saying, hey, we're not the property manager. We're assisting you, but it's all your decisions up front. And we're going to help you think about a decision tree of every question that may be asked, how you should respond to those questions, and then go from there. So I'm super excited about, helping make it much more passive for real estate investors through that tenant communications.
I like it.
So those are the big four. Now I have some questions for you, Michael.
All right, let's go.
Okay, now remember, we have 24,000 rental properties, or 25,000, excuse me. How many rental payments did we process, and at no cost to owners? So owners don't have to pay transaction fees, which is very rare now, I think, with property management platforms, that we don't have tack on fees for the actual repairs for the rental payments. But how many rental payments did we process?
I'll go 320,000.
Oh, sorry, dollar volume.
Oh, dollar
volume. Yes, dollar.
Dollar volume. So total dollar volume of rent collection.
Yep.
Okay, so let's think about this. I'll go 418,000. Oh, would that be a month? Hold on. 418,000. Let's say that.
And that's monthly, you're saying?
Yeah, right.
418,000.
Oh, so that'd be like $5 million, I guess, a year.
Yes. So we had, with the payments process, 371 million that we did.
I was too high. Damn it.
Okay.
370 million.
Million. Yeah. Rental
That's
payments
30 million a
processed.
month.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Hey, that was fast math. I like it. For a sales guy, that you're good with your math, Michael. It must be all the real estate and analyzing properties.
As long as you don't ask me to spell anything, we're good. It's numbers. I have a chalkboard, but no.
Perfect. Awesome. How many repair requests did we coordinate through our service professional network? So sending out our service professionals.
Oh, that's a good one. 25,000 units. Figure 1% a month. So 250 times 12 is 3,000. Let's go up to, let's say 5,000.
10,000.
Oh,
yep. And
damn, that's like 2%. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then rent recovered through mediation. So this is where a tenant is late on rent and we go ahead and call them. So this new Eviction Guard, we call them to just say, hey, what's going on? We have a mediator call. What's going on? How can we help? Tell us a little bit about the situation. We ourselves are not the owner or property manager. We're just here to help. And we found that when you do that and have a mediator call, it changes suddenly, because they're much more of like, oh, this isn't the person trying to collect. They're just trying to learn a little bit more about why we're late. And then we can figure out how to collect. So for those who are late and have our Eviction Guard, how much rent, so dollar value, did we recover in mediation?
So 25,000, figure 95% of people pay on time. 3% need to be reminded. So we'll say 750. Yeah. Oh, wow. I don't know. 500 grand?
1.3 million.
I was going to say a million. Damn it.
You were close. You were close.
I was going to
And
say a
then-
million and I chickened out.
And then my final one is, how many calls did we eliminate? Because we picked up those calls for
Oh,
owners and
wow.
property managers. So we pick up the calls, we can help say, okay, here are the next steps, exactly how the property manager or owner wants us to handle it. How many calls did we eliminate? And this would be for both for leasing as well as
leasing
for
too?
repair coordination. Yeah, both.
Oh, 100,000?
Actually, so now you're over 60,000.
Damn it. I was going to say 60. And yeah. I did think 60 first. Man, I got to. Oh, well.
Pretty
That's
good
awesome.
though. I give you props for that because it's hard to think when you have 25,000 rentals. Well, how many people attached to the
Yeah.
leasing service and all of that?
I was
But
trying.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was our year in review. And really, when we look at the stats and numbers, we really think about how do you actually not just use automation, but actually help do the hard work, the things that folks actually really need, like picking up those calls.
Yeah. What I really loved is over the year together, and again, you have a playlist on this channel just called Him Lane. You brought the self-guided tour, you brought AI, you brought Eviction Guard and Tenant Communications to the channel as it was rolling out. So we kind of got a sneak peek
Yeah.
the weeks they were rolling out. So I appreciate that. The numbers are impressive, 25,000 units, folks. If you haven't checked out Him Lane, if you haven't done the trial, even if you don't have a unit yet, you should be taking the trial. It's 14 days. Dana, where could they find the trial?
Yeah, you can go to www.hemlane.com and just mention one rental at a time because you do get 20% off your first year here.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks.